I'm Sherry Grusendorf of Lubbock, Texas. Was born on the South Plains and raised on the South Plains. A farm girl. I'm a retired Catholic Church administrator. I've always supported women's rights and Planned Parenthood. I've stood for the rights of the immigrant, and I stand appalled at how this state treats our brown and black sisters and brothers. I support Progress Texas because they support the truth in Austin and in Washington, D.C., and they show integrity when others lack integrity.
It's Wednesday, January 21st, 2026, and this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch, rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. If you're like me, you have all too vivid memories of both Winter Storm Uri in February of 2021 and the ice storm at about the same time of early 2023 that took down power for even longer than Uri did across wide ranges of both the cities of Houston and Austin. So you'll forgive me if I'm a little worked up over this incoming weather we're hearing about. Here's what the pros are saying about this potentially historic winter storm inbound for this weekend. What they're saying this morning, of course, and it sure could change. In very simple and non-meteorological terms, what we're looking at is a combination of very cold Arctic air from the north combined with a band of rainfall coming in from the west. The point where the temperatures drop well below freezing as rain is dropping is when we're likely to see ice accretion on roadways and power lines and just about everything else outside, including the trees that hang over those power lines. Some degree of power loss is likely for a lot of us across Texas this weekend. The time to prepare for all of this is right now, not only for the potential loss of electricity, but also maybe water and gas service to your home. I've posted the official Texas Ice Storm Prep Guide from the National Weather Service to this morning's show notes. Have a look at that. As of this morning, we have about 2 days lead time. By the current forecast, significantly sub-freezing temperatures and strong rain chances will combine for a threat of ice in Amarillo at about noon on Friday, in Lubbock mid-afternoon on Friday, Abilene at about midnight on Friday night, DFW in the early morning hours of Saturday, Austin on Saturday afternoon, and Houston mid-morning on Sunday. El Paso and San Antonio and points south of there don't look to be in a whole lot of trouble with this one. Here's hoping things break up before then, but it's a good idea to go ahead and prepare. I'm proud to report that my HEB was pretty calm last night, and I was the only weirdo buying 50 cans of tuna and chili and chicken noodle soup. As for the statewide, Grid ERCOT says they're ready. And I guess I believe him at this point. Much more worrisome to me is the threat of localized power outages due to ice damage. Take good care, everybody. We told you yesterday about MAGA panic over a sports tournament being put on in Colleyville by a Muslim-aligned organizer. Well, that story has sure developed quickly. The Fort Worth Star-Telegram is reporting that Grapevine Colleyville ISD has caved to that right-wing pressure and called off negotiations with the Islamic Games to host a May 2026 athletic event at Colleyville Heritage High School after Texas lawmakers and local leaders as well pointed to Governor Greg Abbott's recent designation of CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, as a foreign terrorist organization, a designation that CAIR, by the way, is currently challenging in court as defamatory. A GCISD district spokesperson says Texas law prohibits government entities from contracting with designated terrorist organizations, which is their excuse for folding like a cheap suit here. A lineup of hard-right Islamophobe types, including Keller Mayor and Texas House District 98 candidate Armin Mizani and area state reps Cole Hefner and Jared Patterson, were falling over each other this weekend to denounce what would have been at least the third annual Islamic Games in Colleyville. CAIR's DFW chapter executive director Mustafa Carroll tells the Fort Worth Star-Telegram that, quote, "Today Muslims are like the political football that people kick around when they're trying to get elected or when they're trying to do something that they want to do. Most of it is political. Greg Abbott called CAIR a foreign terrorist or whatever, and we are neither foreign nor terrorists. We live here, we are from here, and all the work we do is here," unquote. Meanwhile, and along a similar line, Isaac Yu at the Houston Chronicle says the Texas Education Agency has proposed a draft plan to establish the nation's first statewide literary canon, a plan to be applied to all public school students from kindergarten through 12th grade across the state of Texas to study specific texts, including at least 10 biblical excerpts and several Bible-infused lessons. Examples including the Golden Rule in kindergarten, the parable of the prodigal son in first grade, and the 8 Beatitudes in 8th grade. Agency officials describe these religious passages as companion texts intended to provide necessary historical and literary context for other major anchor works. While the proposal mentions that concepts like the Golden Rule exist in other faiths, the Christian Bible is the only religious text with specifically mandated readings. In Texas schools, the line between church and state is close to being officially erased. Notably among the 8 Beatitudes of Christ, by the way, are that the meek shall inherit the earth, that the merciful shall obtain mercy, and that the peacemakers shall be called sons of God. All lessons that Donald Trump and his MAGA minions clearly missed out on. Today's a huge day in both Tarrant County's State Senate District 9 and Houston's Congressional District 18. Early voting starts today in runoff elections in both of those parts of Texas. In Tarrant County's SD 9, veteran union leader and Democrat Taylor Ramett faces MAGA darling and Patriot Mobile technocrat Lee Wamsgans to fill a vacant state Senate seat held for decades by Republicans. A huge trend-setting blue flip is absolutely possible in Tarrant County. And in Houston's CD18, which has gone without representation, as you know, in the U.S. House since the death of Congressman Sylvester Turner all the way back in March of 2025, almost a year, a choice between Democrats Amanda Williams and Christian Menifee to finally fill that seat. These runoffs might seem to some like minor elections, but in the broader context of this crucial midterm year, especially here in Texas, especially in these two areas in particular, they are of huge importance. Election day in both these runoffs is Saturday, January 31st. A special election runoff in a midterm year is likely to see low turnout, which means your vote counts huge. Get out there and get after it, y'all. Of course, the March primary looms as well, and now's the time to confirm your registration. Deadline on that for the primary is Monday, February 2nd, and early voting in the primary starts on February 17th. All of this coming up real soon. See the show notes for Texas 2026 March primary ballot form provided by the Texas Tribune that you can use right now with your home address to see who's running in the primary in which you choose to vote. Everything you need to be sure your registration's in order can be found at govotexas.org. By the way, if you're planning to vote by mail, an important note here, new guidance from the U.S. Postal Service explicitly states that it may not postmark a piece of mail on the same day it's dropped in a mailbox. So the later you wait to send in your ballot, the more likely it is to be rejected. If you're voting by mail, get that done as soon as possible. Progress Texas will be on location tomorrow in DFW. We invite you to join us for a debate hosted by the Richardson area Democrats between two of the Dems running for Texas Attorney General, attorney and former Galveston Mayor Joe Jaworski, and Dallas State Senator Nathan Johnson, hosted by journalist James Barragan at the Dallas College Richland campus on Thursday night, January 22nd. Link for your required RSVP can be found in the show notes this morning. Our mission at Progress Texas is to improve and save Texans' lives by acting on our shared bold progressive values, and that starts with countering the billionaire and corporate-funded disinformation machine. While we enjoy the support of hundreds of partners, chances are that you, dear listener, haven't joined the team yet. If you're a regular, let's get you on board like Carrie White, Greg Mayer, and Macy Burns all have. We appreciate the support, all of y'all. Join them and the team now at progresstexas.org. And while you're there, our web store is live and ready for you to grab some newly released Humans Against Abbott, Y'all Means All, and Revolution shirts, stickers, and buttons. Hit the web store at progresstexas.org to support your favorite podcast network today. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch for this Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Progress Texas is an independent, nonprofit, rapid response media organization. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media in action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning.